President Tinubu calls for calm, assures of steps towards ensuring better security of lives and property. National Assembly gives 7-day ultimatum to pay local contractors for jobs executed in 2025. And federal government kickstarts process for effective ferry services in the Niger Delta. Hello and many thanks for joining us on the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We are live in Abuja. I am Chinenye Moe. President Bola Tinubu has called for calm amongst Nigerians, assuring that his government is taking concrete steps towards ensuring better security of lives and property of all citizens and residents in the country. The president conveyed this message through the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, and the Presidential Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, who just met with him in the State House. During the meeting, the Information Minister disclosed that the issue of the U.S. government threat of military action in Nigeria came up. The minister assured that the government is already ahead with steps to record greater results in the fight against insecurity.
Only last week or 2 weeks ago, Mr. President, in his own desire to rekindle the security architecture of the country, reinvigorated the hierarchy of the armed forces. A new chief of defense staff and other service chiefs were appointed. Now, this is all all the issues that came out of the United States. So that tells me that Mr. President has been working assiduously to ensure that Nigeria is a country that remains safer for all Nigerians to live in. We're looking at all the issues, and we don't want to overheat the discussions, but work is ongoing, and we're also opened channels of communication so that the international community will understand what Nigeria has been doing better, and also what we intend to further do to ensure that whatever concerns there are, either domestically here or from the international community, are answered.
All right, Honorable Minister, you said some steps have been taken, going by what you have just said. Nigerians have been suggesting so many things, including having a dialogue with the religious bodies and all of that, diplomatic means. What precisely is the government doing in this regard?
Well, it's a multiple approach. You know that discussions with the leadership of the religious groups is an ongoing effort. Mr. President has been meeting with them, and of course he will continue to do that. They're all Nigerians, and he is leading them, and so they are of course an important stakeholder in the Nigerian project. So yes, Mr. President will continue to engage with them. Mr. President will continue to engage with the international community, not just the United States, everyone, the regional bodies, the continental bodies, and everyone that we think has a role to play in ensuring that Nigeria succeeds in ridding this country of these criminal elements that are helping the world to drive this narrative so that Nigeria will have a very bad name. And we know that this is not who we are as a country. So for us to be characterized as a country that is not tolerant when it comes to religion is not accurate. This is absolutely false. Nigeria has Muslim and Christian and even those who do not believe in any of these religions, and our constitution guarantees that everyone should practice his faith without let or hindrance, and Mr. President is going to respect that to the letter. So again, yes, we have these security challenges, but nowhere has there been any decision to favor one religion or the other, or to inflict violence over one religion. What has happened is that we have these extremists that are driving this narrative, and the desired outcome for them is to see that this country is divided, and we want to caution Nigerians to look deeper. This is a time for us to reflect on our nationhood, to reflect on our unity, to come together. This is not a time for division. It's not a time for rhetoric. It's not a time for politics. It is a time for nation building, a time for calling for everyone, to come together so that we can continue to have the Nigeria of our dream.
Special advisor to President Bola Tinubu on energy, Olu Vehej, is urging the United States to pursue fact-based diplomacy with Nigeria. He was speaking in an exclusive interview with our NTA News correspondent, Lydia Sampson, in Abu Dhabi.
The Nigeria's president's advisor on energy, Olu Vehej, called for genuine engagement between the United Nations and Nigeria, an engagement rooted in respect as the best way to address underlying concerns without stoking tension or disrupting the positive relationships built over the years.
Nigeria is a sovereign country, and that sovereign country has a right and a commitment to protect every citizen, their religious rights. We're committed to equality. I'm a woman. I'm here. I'm Christian.
Yes.
But that is not to say that some of the underlying issues that they're highlighting around insecurity are untrue. But the root causes of that insecurity are a lot more complex and definitely not driven by religious sentiment yet. And so what we will welcome is fact-based engagement.
She noted the importance of transparent dialogue, stressing that existing partnership between Nigeria and America should not only be preserved, but deepened as both nations navigate complex global economic and energy challenges. The advisor, who has dual citizenship of both the United States and Nigeria, underscores Nigeria's commitment to stability and mutual progress through thoughtful, evidence-driven cooperation. The advisor is calling on the United States to adopt a fact-based diplomatic approach in dealing with Nigeria, emphasizing the need for genuine engagement built on mutual respect, trust, and transparency. She urged Washington to address underlying concerns without fueling unnecessary tension. She noted that both nations share a long-lasting partnership that should be strengthened through dialogue rather than discord. From Abu Dhabi, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Vice President Kashim Shettima has departed Abuja for Brazil to represent President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the 30th session of the United Nations Climate Change Conference, tagged COP30, scheduled to hold in the South American country. The summit, convened by Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, along partners, will hold from 6th to 7th November in the city of Belém, capital of the state of Pará in the Brazilian Amazon. Vice President Kashim Shettima is billed to join other world leaders, development partners, and business executives at the event themed Climate Action and Implementation, with a strong focus on adaptation, forest biodiversity, and climate justice. Vice President Kashim Shettima will attend the General Plenary of Leaders, where he is expected to present Nigeria's Climate Action Address, and he will also take part in the launch of the Tropical Forest Forever Fund and participate in a roundtable chaired by President Lula on climate and nature before attending an Amazonian cocktail for heads of delegation hosted by the President of Brazil. The Vice President is expected back in Nigeria at the end of his engagements in Brazil. A 12-man ad hoc committee has been constituted by the Senate with a mandate to conduct a holistic investigation into the state of rail lines in Nigeria. The ad hoc committee, chaired by Senator Adams Oshomole, is tasked to find out how much was borrowed for and expended on the rail projects. The decision was in response to a motion from Senator Ede Dafinun, who referenced the recent train derailment on the Ijawu-Itape standard gauge line last Saturday. Senate expressed concern that the performance of the rail projects so far leaves much to be desired.
The implementation, the uses, and the reason why we're having all the teething problems while other countries are enjoying their rail services. They will, at the same time, also posit solution.
Meanwhile, Senate seeks understanding of contractors as it promises to fast-track approval of federal government 1.1 trillion naira latest domestic loan request to settle outstanding payments. The House of Representatives wants the executive arm of government to, within 7 days, pay local contractors for jobs executed in 2025. This followed a motion of urgent national importance moved by Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda and adopted unanimously through a voice vote. The House then went ahead to suspend plenary for 7 days until the local contractors who disrupted vehicular movements into the National Assembly are paid.
The President instructed that the ministers should immediately effect payment of local contractors and execution of the budget. Said instruction was not implemented several weeks thereafter. The House further notes that the non-payment of local contractors has worked severe hardship on both the local contractors and indeed the Nigerian populace, and that this has brought tension and increased poverty in our country. Consequently, the House is urged to resolve that the Minister of Finance, Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, and the Accountant General of the country be given 7 days to make the aforesaid payments of all outstanding bills to local contractors for 2024 and implement the 2025 budget.
This House should adjourn for 1 week. Sitting of plenary should adjourn for 1 week. After 1 week, when we hear from the side of the executives about this issue of non-payment and implementation of 2025 budget, then we will continue sitting, Mr. Speaker.
The contractors promised that during this 1 week they will continue to demonstrate, make this place inconducive for us and inaccessible for us. So we won't be fighting with them at the gate to come in. So it's sensible for us to keep away and give the government, the executive, the opportunity to do the needful. I agree very much with the motion and I second it.
Leader, move that we adopt our vote and proceeding.
The federal government is promising support to the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives towards hosting the Commonwealth Nurses and Midwives Federation Conference coming up in 2026. Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, made the commitment when he received the executive of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives in the State House. President of the association, Comrade Haruna Maman, led other executive on the courtesy visit to seek support for the upcoming event. The conference of the Commonwealth Nurses and Midwives Federation, which comprises 58 countries, is slated to hold in April 2026.
It is gladdening to inform you, Your Excellencies, that Nigeria, being the most blessed country in the world, is the first African nation that will contest and win this important event. This great feat is not unconnected to the renewed hope agenda of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The Chief of Staff to the President promised government areas where necessary, adding that a success hosting of the global event would be a pride for the country.
I cannot begin to reel out the very many accomplishments of this government in the health sector, many of which you yourself are aware, including the revitalization of health centers, primary healthcare centers, and so many other areas where this government has prioritized in the health sector. We'll be more than happy, again, like I said, it is worth repeating. to play a role. It is to be our pride that you showcase what we're doing and what we are still going to do when your colleagues come over.
This is the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We'll take a break here. There'll be more reports when we return. Do stay.
Very final sale of the year is here. This festive season, enjoy extra savings on luxury and comfortable sofa sets, modern and functional dining sets, sophisticated and smart bed sets, and our royal collections. Classy, premium, and truly exclusive. Shop 10 million Naira and receive a complimentary Daisy tea set. Spend 15 million and take home a 65-inch smart TV. Go higher at 20 million and experience unmatched comfort with our exclusive massage chair. Visit our showrooms in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu, or shop online. It's big, it's bold, it's unforgettable. It's Baffy Furniture's legendary final sale of the year.
This is NTA News 24.
Many thanks for staying on. Nigeria and Germany are forging a stronger partnership with cooperation now focusing on power, security, economy, trade and migration under the framework of the Nigeria-Germany Binational Commission. This was when Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, met with his German counterpart, Minister Johann Wadefu, in Berlin, as both nations marked 65 years of diplomatic relations. Garaba Natala reports.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Al-Qasim Abdul-Qadir, says talks between Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister Yusuf Tuga and his German counterpart reviewed progress on key energy projects, including the Siemens Energy Power Initiative and the Green Guarantee Group for Renewable Investment. Tuga reaffirmed Nigeria's energy strategy, using gas as a transition fuel while expanding renewables. On security, both nations agreed to enhance intelligence sharing, cybersecurity, and border management. Yusuf Tuga called for a more strict EU stance against organizations using European territories for incitement and illicit financing. The ministers, however, commended existing migration and skills partnerships with Nigeria, proposing to expand collaboration into ICT, engineering, and healthcare. Tuga highlighted business process outsourcing as a key opportunity for young Nigerians to work remotely for German companies. Trade volume has hit 3 billion euros in 2024, making Germany Nigeria's second-largest European trade partner, citing Nigeria's removal from the Financial Task Force grey list as boosting investor confidence. On regional and global issues, Tuga briefed on Nigeria's leadership within ECOWAS, inviting Germany to join efforts to strengthen democratic institutions and stability across West Africa. Both ministers reaffirmed their shared commitment to democracy, UN reform, and multilateral cooperation, pointing out that the renewed dialogue will consolidate mutual trust and elevate a partnership anchored on equality. Garba Muhammad Atala, NTA News.
The federal government, through the Ministry of Regional Development, has begun steps towards establishing an effective ferry service with the inauguration of a project steering committee and development team that will oversee the actualization of the project. Ekene Ndulwe reports.
The Niger Delta is a region crisscrossed by rivers and creeks, with many communities separated by vast bodies of water, making movement and trade a daily challenge. In September 2022, the National Council of Niger Delta proposed the establishment of an effective ferry service across the riverine communities. 3 years later, that vision is taking shape. The newly inaugurated Project Steering Committee and Development Team have been charged with designing and implementing a sustainable water transport system to be executed under a public-private partnership arrangement.
If you want to know the type of problem we have in the Niger Delta area, just fly a chopper across that area. Then you see clusters of communities surrounded by water left and right. You begin to ask yourself, how do these people get to the outside world and the rest of it? I think with the development of marine transport in that area, all of these problems will be settled.
If you are going to grow an economy, if you are going to develop an area, transportation is key, because the ability to move goods and move people is how an economy grows.
The Ministry of Regional Development is optimistic that this initiative will unlock the economic potential of the Niger Delta region. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulwe, NTA News.
The Federal University of Transportation, Daura, has been honored with a merit award at the centenary celebration of the first aircraft landing in Nigeria, held at the iconic Malam Aminu Kano International Airport. The prestigious event brought together high-profile personalities from the aviation industry, students, and the younger generation to commemorate this remarkable milestone.
The Federal University of Transportation, Daura, was honored with a merit award at the centenary celebration of the first aircraft landing in Nigeria, held at the iconic Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Kano. This prestigious event brought together high-profile personalities from the aviation industry, students, and the younger generation to commemorate this remarkable milestone. The Vice-Chancellor of FUTD, Professor Omar Adam Kassil, received the Merit Award on behalf of the university, recognizing its dedication to advancing transportation and aviation education through innovation, research, and human capacity development.
The award to a dedicated institution is highly inspiring, and it goes to Muhammad Buhari University of Transportation, Daura, Katsina State. Presented in recognition of their dedication to advancing transportation and aviation education through innovation, research, and human capacity development. Their commitment to training future professionals continues to strengthen Nigeria's transportation and aviation sectors. Congratulations. Please let's give them another big round of applause.
The university's commitment to training future professionals has significantly strengthened Nigeria's transport and aviation sector. The event provided a laudable platform for the university's positive projection, showcasing its contribution to the aviation industry. FUTD's delegation, led by Professor Katsil, included other key officials such as Professor Ahmed Abubakar, Professor Yusuf Jibril, Dr. Mohamed Rabiu Musa, and other senior staff members. This celebration not only marked a significant milestone in Nigeria's aviation history, but also highlighted the university's role in shaping the industry's future.
A civic advocacy group, Frontier for Transparency, FFT, has expressed support for disciplinary action taken against some staff of Ajaokuta Steel Company Limited accused of theft but faulted the process through which the dismissals were carried out, describing it as procedurally defective and contrary to public service rules. In a statement, its spokesman, Abdullahi Adams, the group said its findings confirmed that the affected workers were dismissed over allegations of theft and misconduct, offenses that under the Federal Public Service rules could warrant summary dismissal. According to Frontier for Transparency, the management neither obtained ministerial approval nor followed the formal disciplinary procedure required before a dismissal could take effect. The group called on the Minister of Steel Development, Prince Shuaibu Abubakar Audu, and the Managing Director of Ajaokuta Steel Company Limited, Professor Nasir Naim Abdsalam, to urgently review the circumstances surrounding the dismissals. It urged the new management to reinstate the affected workers pending proper investigation and to ensure that future disciplinary actions strictly comply with the civil service regulations. The federal government is stepping up efforts to boost milk production and enhance the country's global competitiveness in the dairy industry. This was at the National Dairy Policy Framework Validation Workshop organized by the Federal Ministries of Livestock Development, Industry, Trade and Investment and partners holding in Abuja. Yusuf Jika reports.
Nigeria is a home of viable breeds of cattle, goats and sheep, but despite this treasure lies inadequate dairy production, costing the nation a whopping $1.5 billion annually on the importation of the product and impacting negatively on local pastoralists, processors, aggregators, rural community and the general economy of the nation. This challenge is inspiring delegates at this workshop and trying to resolve, highlighting exotic breeds, regulatory framework, encourage investment, improve infrastructure, feed and fodder, among others that are central to becoming self-sufficient in the production. Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Mukhtar Mahasith, Nigeria is blessed with a number of animals and suitable climate condition, hence charge the delegates to be prudent in their discourse for rapid dairy production.
This is about our future. This is about the progress of this country. We have all what it takes to export milk out of this country. There is no way we can continue to spend this much to import substandard products.
Reflects the federal government's unified commitment to unlocking the full potential of the dairy value chain as a driver of industrial growth, job creation, and food security.
The National Dairy Policy is a blueprint for prosperity, and the framework set to develop and validate at this event will be the engine that drives its success. In Abuja, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
And that concludes the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Many thanks for watching. I am Chinenye.